We're gonna go to the next one, the fight above that, which is in the lightweight division, and here we see
Mm-hmm.
former BMF champion Justin Gaethje coming up against the returning Rafael Fiziev. And Justin Gaethje is 26 5-0, 20 wins by KO. Last time getting flatlined by Max Holloway in that BMF championship fight. He's coming up against the long anticipated return of Rafael Fiziev, who is 12-3-0, 8 wins by KO. Last time out, losing because of a broken leg against Mateus Gamrot. Um, so, of course, Babu, this is your boy. You've been anticipating his
Oh,
comeback for a long time. So, I'm going to go to you first here, bro. Let us know your thoughts on this one, please, sir.
um, I think like this is a big matchup for Gaethje more than it is for Fiziev. I think after getting flatlined in that Max Holloway fight, like we need to see another good performance out of Justin Gaethje. We don't want to see him go down the Tony Ferguson route where you get flatlined, your next fight you get beaten by somebody that shouldn't actually beat you, who shouldn't match your skills. And in that sense, like Gaethje, this fight has happened already. Gaethje got the victory, and it was in his wheelhouse to get the victory seamlessly in that last fight. This time out, I think Fiziev is going to be a much better fighter. A long time off, yielded up. A lot of people in the division have just left him and ducked him because they know it's a hard night at the office with him.
Yes.
I'm hoping to see him come back like rejuvenated. I hope he worked on a bit of his skills, and he always had a good stand-up game, a killer leg kick. So just need to see if he got a bit of clinch work done in this off time, or maybe he got a bit of grappling done in this off time, and hopefully he did, and hopefully he's evolved and
Mm.
he gets the W and he KOs Gaethje one more time for the boys, and I can come
Go.
back when we recap and say this is why everybody's been talking about boy, and he climbs up that rankings for us.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I'm also leaning towards Fiziev here, to be honest with you. I think he's got a lot
Woo!
more to fight before. And yeah, I think the first fight was very close, Mavra, and I think that he's gonna make the adjustments needed to beat Gaethje here, and also
Mm.
recency bias is all of the drug. So seeing him get flatlined against Max like that is just it's difficult to get the picture out of my head, and the cumulative damage might be a factor. But
Mm.
BG, tell us your thoughts on this one, bro.
Yeah, look, I'm also very excited to see Rafael Fiziev back. People have been talking in Bobby, you're right. I personally questioned the thing about why he wasn't fighting because he had AC. It wasn't. Let me just correct you. That was my mistake for putting that in the notes. It wasn't a
It's
leg
a
break. It was a
ACL, right?
ACL. Yeah,
I
yeah. I
thought
remember
so.
it came off a kick also. Um, yeah, having Rafael Fiziev back is firstly he's not Max Holloway. They don't fight exactly the same. I don't know if Fiziev can put a beating on someone for 5 rounds. It's not a 5 round fight by the way, but I don't know if he can do it the same way Gaethje, the way Max Holloway beat Gaethje. I hear you saying about recency bias, but I'm gonna go with the Gaethje camp in this one. Not because I'm not a Rafael Fiziev fan. I am a Rafael Fiziev fan, but he carries way too much muscle and he's been out for 2 years. And for him not to fight, he had the ACL recovery for 1 year. Then he was basically in the gym fighting for another, ready to go for another year, and didn't fight anyone for a full year. So it's 2 years without fighting anybody. That's very concerning for me because then it's like you can train as hard as you want, but at the end of the day, fighting when you're in the fight, it attacks your adrenaline and it attacks your stamina in a different way when you're fighting against someone in sparring. It's a different thing, man. Your body muscles breathe differently when you're actually fighting someone versus training with somebody. And for Ziev, could outstrike anybody in the lightweight division, but he couldn't outstrike himself. He would always get tired when he goes into that third round. He would always just look very, very tired, no matter who he's fighting against. And I think he's one of the most muscle-bound fighters in the lightweight division. And I think that's why we always see him get so exhausted. And he throws hard body kicks. His favorite weapon is a body kick, whether it's switch kick or just from his back leg. He loves the body kick, and that takes a lot of energy to throw that body kick every time. And he doesn't jab over and right, or jab right or right jab. He likes to throw hooks after the kick. So he's throwing the heaviest weapons that he has. that is gonna tire you out, bro. And if he doesn't finish you with that moves in the first round and a half, you can bet that Fiziev is gonna get tired in the end of round 2 and round 3. And that's exactly why Gaethje beat him. Gaethje was a bit more composed. He didn't throw as reckless as he normally does. And he actually was able to survive that first onslaught of Fiziev in that first round because Gaethje got beaten up in that first round. Let's be honest. Fiziev fucked him up in that first round. And then Gaethje just, okay, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to be easy. I'm going to jab this guy and just do the basics right. And Fiziev was just, every time he did get jabbed, you could see he was just getting more tired and more tired. And Gaethje was still, plus Gaethje also threw in hard leg kicks at him, which was also slowing down Fiziev quite massively. So let's not forget about who Gaethje is just because he got beaten up by someone who came up into his division. That is Max Holloway, by the way. That is royalty in the UFC that he fought against. So we also have to look at the context. So for that reason, you said there's more to fight for Fiziev. Fiziev's 31. I think he can still go for a run even if he loses this fight. Whereas Gaethje is 36. He can't lose this fight. So there is a lot for him to ride on as well. This is his run. This is his final opportunity. He has no other choice but to win this fight from here. And for that reason, I'm going to go with the highlighted little Justin Gaethje to get the job done over the course of 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think you make some good points there, BG. Nicely done. But yeah, I do feel like, again, the younger fighter, and just I think the cumulative damage over Gaethje's career is going to start to tell, and I don't think he's going to be able to withstand that same kind of damage if it does come like it did in the first fight. But it's going to be an interesting one, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments your thoughts on that one. Babu, any final thoughts on this one before we move? Yeah.
I think this fight also, like, yeah, I think if Fiziev and Uncle Life lose, I think there's gonna be like a chit chat in the background. Because Fiziev is also fasting, he's also Muslim. So if both fighters lose during Ramadan, I think both fighters can come out to the media and say like, "Hey, look here, UFC made us fight this time," and that could be like a narrative that's taken on. And I think one of them has to win because we don't want it to seem like, oh, these fighters are fighting during a time where they should be fasting, and it seems like they have no other choice. I think Fiziev had the choice here to step into this fight because Hooker was the. So
original.
I think like he needs to win this so that we can see a nice escalation to him. And then, like BG said, if Gaethje doesn't get the job done here, now we are finding him in the GFL soon.
Yeah. No, for real. I agree with you, Babu. I think that could be the end of it if he loses this fight.
Let's go.
I have a question for Babu, quickly, AD, and for all the Muslim brothers and sisters out there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you allowed to have water and maybe dates if you are competing, especially sports athletes? So I remember growing up with a lot of Muslim friends, and when they would play rugby and cricket, on the day of performance, they were allowed to break fast, but training up to the event, they were fasting as per normal.
I know. So like somebody else that is more knowledgeable than me can correct me in the comments. But as per my understanding, if your job requires you to eat or to maintain a certain level of performance, you can do so. Like you must just like pay in the day again.
Yes, that's what I understand.
Yeah, but that's as per your profession. So both fighters can go about like eating as per normal and stuff like that on the day of the fight.
On the day,
but leading into the fight, you're still gonna feel drained and everything. Like there is ways to negate it, like we saw with Bilal Muhammad, and it's not really negating it in a way where like you're gonna feel 100% normal, but you will feel like 80%, 90% because you can get evening sessions in. You can still carbo load your body and get all the sessions that you need, and go about your business as per normal and get the training in. And I think one thing that Bilal Muhammad did a lot when he was in training camp is a lot of tape work. Like instead of being on the gym mat and stuff like that, because we like you in the UFC, so you have the skills necessary to compete in the UFC. So it's just about, like John Jones says, it's tape work. Study your opponent, study their mannerisms, study how they move, study their reads, so that when you get in there, you don't have to go 5 rounds or 3 rounds. You can get the job done at the optimal level. And
Okay.
yeah, I think like it shouldn't be an excuse, but I
Mm,
can see a world where it does become something
absolutely.
that is in the media.
Yeah, I can see it as well. But that's why I just wanted to ask the question, to clarify that, because that could be a counter argument towards it. End of the day, the fact is making the choice as well, along with their camp and their training part, their coaches and staff and so on, and managers. They don't have to take it. I think Uncle Life is like,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it's like, bruh, how can you not take a title fight, bro? And as
that's what I'm
Fiziev
saying.
sitting out after 2 years, like giving you
That's what I'm
Justin
saying.
Gaethje, bro, how can you
It's a
not
big
take it?
opportunity. That's
You
what I'm
know
trying
what
to
I
say. Is
mean?
like you don't have to because of what Babu just described now. It's in Ramadan, but at the same point, it's like these opportunities don't come often.
Yeah,
Fiziev is number 11. Magomed Ankalaev probably only has this title shot as well, being at 32 years old. Considering that the top 5 of light heavyweight division is moving quite frequently, so anyone can challenge anybody at that point. So
mm,
when opportunity does come, you have to take it.
yeah, you really do. But yeah, just to your point there, Babu, I know you said like you can train and you can be like 80, 90%, but bruh, that could be the difference when you're competing at the highest level, bruh. Is that
Yeah,
20% that you're missing, you know what I mean? This is the
yeah,
highest level, bruh. This is a title fight. So you need every possible advantage you can get. And again, I just don't understand why the UFC is doing this. But
yeah.
anyway, there's a lot obvious maybe there's a lot going on that we don't know about.
I'm sure.
But we can only speculate. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, drop us a comment there. Let us know